Stop shopping around and just buy a Steam Deck, is what you hear a lot of people say. But if you give me the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you why I think this thing might just win you over. So about 3 years ago, the Valve Steam Deck burst onto the scene and changed the landscape of handhelds forever. I think you can probably say something similar with the Legion Go S. And here's the thing, if there's one thing you take away from this video, I think it's this word, choice. Choice, as you'll find out in this video, is one of the things that the Legion Go S actually improves upon from the Steam Deck. So first, let me explain how I got my hands on this. The other day, my Lenovo rep, who is amazing by the way, asked if I was interested in reviewing this Go S. And of course, because I'm a Lenovo shill that loves the original Go, I jumped at this opportunity. The next day, when it arrived on my doorstep and I eagerly opened it up, I'll admit, I was a little bit disappointed to find out that this was not the Z1E Extreme version. Checking my emails again, I did see that she said it was the white one. Thinking on it a little more, I realized, yeah, there are 4 SKUs of this device, or 4 variants. And this one here might just be the most interesting one. Now before you say I'm just a corporate mouthpiece, this is a loaner unit, so I do have to return it, and they've actually been super cool and not said that I have to say any particular thing. The thing is about this and its choice is that you're given a variety of choices in the prices and as well as the specs. And the most interesting part is you get the choice in the operating system. This one here is Windows, but I'm going to put SteamOS on it later because SteamOS is now officially supported by Valve. And speaking of SteamOS, in case you hadn't heard, even in Windows mode, if you boot into big picture mode while you're in Steam, you can get most of that SteamOS experience. Yes, you still have to deal with some Windows shenanigans like Windows Update, but you can still get that handheld experience that most people want. And because this is Windows, you can simply just download an Epic Games launcher and collect all those free games that you've been amassing. Unlike in Steam Deck, where you have to jump through a couple of hoops to get that working. And this is where it goes back to choice. If you've ever met someone with first-hand experience with the Steam Deck, or maybe you have or owned a Steam Deck, I think most people would agree that it's a pretty good handheld. But you might have wanted a little bit more. For example, you wanted a little bit more performance. You wanted a little bit bigger battery life. You wanted a little bit bigger display. And that's what we get here in the Legion Go S. You get a little bit bigger display, a little bit more battery, and a lot of bit more RAM. Oh, and performance? Yeah, that's pretty good too. No, it's not going to stand up to the latest HX370 handhelds or even that Z2 Extreme that's coming later in the Go too, but that's where again there's this nice choice. The Legion lineup of handhelds is really giving you something that's akin to a Steam Deck in terms of its value and its performance, and then if you want to, you can still go back to that original Go, which has a little bit more performance, and if you really want to go all out, you can get the Go 2 that's coming later. That thing is making me tear up just thinking about it, and how much it's going to make my wallet cry. Okay, so sticking with this idea of choice, you get a choice of accessories too when it comes to the Legion Go S because it's not the first device on the market. You can get all different kinds of docks and cases and stuff like that for it. For me personally, I like this D-brand kill switch, which they did send over to me for review, but they've told me that I can say whatever I want basically. The texture on this is in between a kind of rough and smooth, I would say. Anyway, it's really good for my sensory issues. I just really like the texture. And then when you slap on the cover to it, it's basically this full-fledged case, which is really protective. And then on the back, there's a little kickstand which you can host all of your micro SD cards with all of your ROMs and stuff on there. Wait, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk about that. Anyway, yeah, thanks to D-Brand for sending this over. Thanks to Lenovo for loaning me this device. And thanks to you for clicking on the video. Make sure to check out all the accessories links in the description below. So let me say this now if you've stuck around for this long. No, I'm not just a clown. This thing is not a perfect device. It does have some of its limitations. Like the limited travel in the triggers is a little bit strange to me. The trackpad that I really wanted to like is at best functional. And battery, while a modest improvement, this Windows version is probably not that much better for battery compared to a Steam Deck. That's why I gotta put SteamOS on it. And the one thing that definitely confuses me is why they chose to go with a 4-core 8-thread CPU in 2025. But I'm not a businessman, nor am I an engineer, so I'm not going to pretend like I understand how these things cost and work. But for the things that it does right, like the ergonomics, this is one of the most comfortable handhelds that I've used. The 8-inch display, which I always tout is one of the best sizes, at least for me. And then there's the hair trigger locks, which I'm too trash to make use of, but I mean, they're there. And then there's the front-facing speakers. And I'm not even touching upon the other versatility that it has, which is connecting it to an eGPU, which let's not even get started with the Steam Deck. So all in all, yeah, this is a pretty good device, and one that really does change the landscape, I think, for the future of handhelds. And that's why I'm going back again to that word choice. What's your choice of a Legion Go handheld? And what's your choice of what kind of content you want to see on this channel? Leave me a comment down below if you'd like to see more of this kind of content or more technical stuff. So for me, personally, because of the landscape of handhelds that I have, and because of the capabilities I'm looking for, particularly in VR, I'm going to be waiting for the Legion Go 2. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't consider this thing the Legion Go S, particularly if you don't have any handheld at all. But hey, you know what Fanny thinks?
You are a beautiful person, so don't let anything hold you back.